Draw some artwork with me. Today I'm drawing Ponderer's Park from my fantasy action adventure series, Ventures Turned. I like to start off with a rough draft. I get lots of my inspiration from TV shows like Steven Universe or Over the Garden Wall. Ponderer's Park has a big area, but specifically I wanted to give this a woodsy feeling. After finishing the rough draft, I like to use a chalk almost like pencil, similar to the ones they use in Steven Universe background. So I go ahead and add a little bit more detail, and then I move on to the coloring process. I start the coloring process on one layer. I start with one flat color and I build upon it. On the same layer, I like to use the simple flat colors just to fill in the basic colors in the areas. While coloring, I like to keep things simple. That way, when it's time to add shadows for more of an in-depth perspective, things are easily done. I've been studying how to draw backgrounds as of lately. I'm having fun with the process, getting ready to work on some comic scenes and other things possibly. On the same layer, I begin to add just a little bit darker shadows so that you can have an idea of where the background is compared to the foreground and so forth. Continuing with the background, I like to erase where the sky is going to be. That way I can open a separate layer and easily draw or color the sky under everything. After removing the color out the sky, I add more shadow in the bushes below just to create a sense of background and depth. Then I color my sky. I like to add a brighter green so that you can see the difference between the grass, and also add some darker colors so you can have a perspective of what's in front. As you can see, I decided to change the color of the trees. I also added some moss on the rocks just for some more greenery effect. Moving on to shadows and shading. On this art piece, I was learning new techniques and just trying to figure out how do I go about adding shadows. I decided to add the shadows on a separate layer, and I lowered the opacity. That way the colors will stay the same under it, and it just made things so much easier. Adding some shadows on the trees was fun, but adding the lighting was even more fun. I added this shine effect on a separate layer using some white, and I lowered the opacity so you can have some type of lighting in the woods feeling. Also, I added some random sparkles of shine. That way it can bring out the environment more. The trees were very plain to me, so I decided to add some details. Didn't really like the stripes going across, so after attempting it, I decided to go with a more string-like pattern, if you will, or ripping. I also changed the color so that I can have a different time of day theme for later. In the end, I love the way this turned out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you would like to see more content like this. Until next time.